All right, we're back for episode 102. What are we talking about? Well, I guess we can. This week we can talk about space, just because there's two big things in that realm that happened. One is, of course, SpaceX and their newly revealed, not newly revealed, but the numbers for their IPO are kind of out there now. And of course, after how many years is this? It's in the 60s, 50s, 50-ish years, we are going back to the moon. So of course we have to talk about this historic moment. So there you go. And of course we'll just do some AI talk as per usual.
Yeah, this week was a big week for space, the final frontier. No, but it was cool. Let's talk about the Artemis launch first, and then we'll go into SpaceX. If you have not been following, NASA launched a rocket into space. I think this rocket, Artemis 2, is a big step for men and women and NASA, because it's been 50 years since astronauts have gone to the moon. And so Artemis 2 going to the moon. They're not landing on the moon. They're going to do an orbit and come back, similar to Apollo 13. Remember that movie and that story? And yeah, it was a huge accomplishment for NASA. And ironically, we'll go into SpaceX later, but there were no SpaceX connections to this, which was interesting, since the last few years we've been talking about how NASA's really been falling behind, and how maybe because they're a government agency, they just take too long to do things. So I think intentionally, probably NASA didn't want to have any external ties and wanted to do this on their own. But the mission is it's a 10-day mission. Their capsule and spaceship is going to use gravitational force to slingshot them to the moon. They're going to do one orbit around the moon and use gravitational force to slingshot them back to Earth. And the whole reason for this is to just prove that they can get there, because the future is basically wanting to build a moon base so that we can go to Mars.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, pretty cool. Although could have probably done better in certain ways. When they first launched, a lot of comparisons between how they documented, I guess, this historic mission relative to how SpaceX typically documents their kind of like reusable rocket launches, which is kind of interesting.
You mean documented like broadcast?
Like broadcast, just the clarity of the, I guess, I don't know what they're doing, but like they should have just splurged on some GoPros or something versus the kind of like
I see
20p like desktop cameras that they're probably using or whatever, and it was like glitchy. And then the way they videoed the actual launch is apparently like, I didn't watch it because I just didn't watch it. But anyways, it's like some of the comments was like during the actual launch, the camera didn't even have the rocket in frame for like 10 seconds, or they were showing people instead of the actual rocket launching. And the video quality, it was just horrendous. It was like they were using webcams versus people were doing like side by side with SpaceX, where it's like, it was almost like a commercial, right? So if you think about it, right, SpaceX was still pre-IPO. They've got to sell their launches, right? And it's like NASA probably should take the same mentality, is that they need to sell their launches to get people excited about it, versus it's like almost like it's like a secondary thought. It's like, oh, we should probably put a camera here and there. But yeah, when you see it side by side, you're like, yeah, that's pretty bad for something that's supposed to be very big, but they didn't spend much thought into it.
Yeah, interesting take, since I did not have that. I did not have that observation at all. I didn't even hear about that. Those trolling.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true though. Once you see the side by side, you're like, oh yeah, it looks like an afterthought, right? They could have done it so much better to sell the
less
launch.
Refined.
I mean, it wasn't even less refined. I mean, it literally looked like this can't be, like, camera technology is like it's progressed in a decade or two. But it looks like something they pulled out of the 20s, like 20 years ago, to do.
Well, that's what I saw. I didn't have any immediate reactions as to this is not great.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't watch it. Well, did I watch it live? I didn't watch it live, but I did come back and watch the live stream and like rewound it, because I actually got the time wrong. Like, I thought it was gonna be at 4. I thought it was gonna be at like 1:30 our time.
Yeah.
No, 2:30 our time, but it was actually at 1:30 our time. So then I went back and I got to the live stream, and then I had to rewind it. But no, I didn't think it was horrible, but I can definitely imagine that it was not as good as what SpaceX has done. So
yeah,
I want to watch that after. Regardless, I think it's a pretty interesting and good step for NASA. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Restart. One thing I thought they did mention in what I saw, and this was from I think NASA, like the coverage people themselves, was that the reason we're doing this is to get to the moon before China. And I was like, oh, really? I mean, because we didn't want China to be the first to build the base there.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about it, right? I mean, it's like whoever builds the moon base first has a stronger claim or stake to whatever part of the moon they land on. But I mean, we'll see. Apparently, they still have issues, technical issues. Outlook didn't work. So Outlook not only doesn't work on the ground, it doesn't work in space very well.
They can't email each other.
Maybe they fixed it, but that was also trending. Their outlooks couldn't work, and the astronauts like, hey guys, we need some help. We can't get either of our Outlook mail clients to work.
That's funny.
And then of course the toilet issue.
Yeah, the toilet issue, and also if you don't remember, the launch was delayed the first time. I think by like a month and a half due to like issues with the rockets. From what I understand, they're going smooth so far, other than these like small glitches, and so I think we're just holding our breath for when they have to come back. Right?
Yeah.
I was reading about the crew and the captain of the crew, 2 teenage daughters, but he lost his wife in 2020.
Wow.
To cancer, and I think he was like he lost his wife a few weeks or something after he lost his mom. And so this guy's got some grit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think about like the slingshot and Apollo 13, and it's all dependent on that. So yeah, so I think space, like we talked about SpaceX. You want to give us the intel of the SpaceX story?
So basically, the big thing going around is that I guess it's getting more strongly confirmed that SpaceX is going for a $2 trillion valuation. I think the issue that most people, or a lot of people, are finding a little bit egregious is their revenue is only $15 billion a year. Yeah, $15 billion a year, but they want a $2 trillion valuation. I think that's the talk of the town at the moment. So as a comparison,
treated like a startup in public land.
Yeah, I think as a comparison, what is it? Amazon is roughly almost 2 trillion, but their revenue is about 700, 800 billion a year in revenue. And so people were making that comparison of would you rather buy SpaceX at this whatever 130 something X? Can't even really call it a multiple because this is revenue. It's not even income. Right. But anyways, so a lot of people are making that comparison, and also saying that is a way for whoever buys into the IPO on when it opens are basically the exit liquidity. Liquidity is really what they're trying to do, is push it as much as they can and then offload for investors, which there are quite a lot. I mean, if we've talked about the history, right, of SpaceX acquired AI to basically bail out those people who helped Elon buy Twitter, etc. And it's kind of funneled down to where we are right now. But anyways, there we go.
Yeah, so you can imagine on IPO day, the stock's probably going to roar up and then fall flat. Yeah. Probably like below its IPO price.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. There's a lot of Tesla fanatics out there who will believe whatever Elon says, right? And so they could potentially prop up SpaceX.
I like how ChatGPT phrases it. This isn't priced like aerospace. It's priced like a platform for the future economy, which is kind of like what, Tesla is. It's like, it's not priced like a car company. It's priced like the future of autonomy. Yeah, it's crazy. I think, I don't know what to think about the valuation. It's like, way bloated, and it's the largest IPO ever if it did this by a long shot. But let's talk about what SpaceX actually has. SpaceX is bundled into 4 bets. One is its rockets, so Falcon 9, Starship, the reusable capabilities. SpaceX has been working with NASA and others to like the best example that we covered recently was when they had to save the astronauts, right, from the ISS International Space Station because their capsule couldn't come back to Earth. So SpaceX was called to send something up there to get them. So that's one that primarily SpaceX is known for. The second is Starlink. So if you're not familiar with Starlink, it's the satellite provided Wi-Fi and internet connectivity that many homes can purchase. I've actually considered getting Starlink. It's just, I mean, compared to my Xfinity Wi-Fi, it's more expensive. But I've noticed they've been sending me emails because they're like bringing the price down. But Starlink is interesting because it can go with you everywhere versus like your normal Wi-Fi. 3 is defense and government contracts, and so they've got things that they're doing for the government. It's called Star Shield.
Yeah.
I don't know like where Trump's Golden Dome fits into this, but I would imagine they're doing stuff like that we don't even know about when it comes to the government. And then the fourth is their AI and compute, which is primarily what the XAI merger came from. And so space-based data centers is a concept that they want to go after. And then the vertical integration of AI chips, satellites, and connectivity puts them in the kind of same, I guess, playing field as NVIDIA in some sort. So yeah, those are the four kind of businesses that they have that kind of tell them why they can justify a high price tag.
Yeah, I don't know. What it's just it's such a stretch for. Yeah, I mean that's what people will say. It's you got to have the vision that Elon has been saying, right? Of data centers and space, and a lot of people are banking on Starlink as being a big driver because the market is so big globally, but it kind of discounts all the competitors, I guess, as people say nobody can compete. But there's of course ASTS, which also provides, from what I've read, similar system as Starlink, but better. It's just a little bit better engineered. And they actually have a lot of, what do they call it again? Not deals per se, but a lot of mobile providers, 80 mobile providers have kind of like signed up to like use them or try them out with their networks. So a lot of things. It's a lot of growth. I think some of the numbers were, it's like, for SpaceX would need to grow like 30% year over year over like the next decade to eventually get to this valuation or whatnot. But
yeah,
we'll
what
see.
would you value it at if you had to put a valuation to SpaceX?
I have no idea. I can't. I was looking at like what was Tesla at its peak when it first crossed $1 trillion, was kind of how I was thinking about it.
Wasn't it like 1.2, 1.1?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to have Chat. Actually, let me see. What did ChatGPT give me the numbers for this? But basically, it was because ChatGPT was like, yeah, I have no way. But okay, so here it is. So peak Tesla was roughly 10x their sales story at their peak, or when the Tesla hype was up there. And so SpaceX right now, right at 130x, I think 5 times less. Like I'd probably be willing, like what Tesla was at its peak, probably could work just for the hype train. Whatever. So that's 20x. So it's 130. It's 5 times. So divide by 5. What would that put it at? Am I doing the math right?
Don't you have ChatGPT open?
Now I feel stupid.
I can't math live, Tony. Sorry.
So maybe 500 billion would be reasonable based off of where they are right now.
Yeah. Based off where they are right now, I was going to say, yeah. But then if you add the hype multiplier,
I think that is the multiplier, right? I mean, even at 50 billion, that's still giving it so much cred, right? That it would take them like 5 years to even come close to growing into that valuation.
Yeah. Let's see. I just did a search for other companies that are doing 15 billion per year.
Mm-hmm.
And
so here's the other fun fact, right? Is if you look at QQQ, this is joining NASDAQ. Also, side note, a lot of people are kind of calling out NASDAQ for changing their rules in order to take SpaceX, but that's like a whole different topic. But anyways, so if SpaceX does launch at this $2 trillion valuation, it'll be the 6th biggest by weight stock on the NASDAQ or in the QQQ, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it would replace Tesla. Tesla is currently 6 at like 1 point whatever billion it's at right now. So it would be the 6th largest weighted thing right out of the gate. So that's why people are saying they are using it as exit liquidity, because so many ETFs will be forced to buy SpaceX as part of their whatever their ETF strategy, right? And so they're using that mechanic to basically let investors kind of liquidate mostly on the highs. That's the theory, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, in terms of companies, they didn't really come up with any companies, but ServiceNow makes about 10 billion a year. Workday makes about 8 billion. I'd say buckle up for Q1 of next year, because once SpaceX employees can sell their stock, it's gonna take down the Nasdaq with it.
Yep, that's true. That's true. We'll see. Again, we will see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, we will continue paying attention to this one. I want to tell you that I am starting to get some exposure to it through the VCX fund, which is Fundrise's fund.
You actually bought VX.
I decided to start dollar cost averaging into it, not only because of SpaceX, but because OpenAI, Anthropic, Databricks. So I saw it, it shot up like the first and second week, and then it came back down. So it's not financial advice.
It was insane how much it went up.
Yeah, and so it's much under that now. So I decided to start dollar cost averaging.
What is it? What is it priced now?
It's like 115, I think.
115.
Yeah, I think it shot up to like 500 in the first.
Yeah.
Week.
Well, intrinsically, its NAV is about $19. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Based off of the valuations of its holdings, right? Its NAV is only $19. So I think that was what Twitter was talking about, is like, again, people buying the hype but not really looking at the fundamentals, because it's a fund, right? And so it's not, you don't give it the multiple like you would like a traditional company, right? So you got to look at its NAV for what its net asset value, for people who don't know, of what it's actually worth, and it's actually only worth about $19-20. So
that's why I'm dollar cost averaging, like, slowly.
Go in.
That's why I'm not YOLOing.
Yeah.
Because yes, intrinsically that's what it's worth, but I mean, because it's on the public stock market, it's still gonna play like
if you look, what is it? It's like SpaceX is 10% of their holdings. Google also has a approximately equivalent amount of SpaceX, so you could buy Google if you wanted to play that. But I feel Google always gets discounted for those type of investments, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, but I'm not only buying it for SpaceX. I'm buying it for the other stuff that's in there.
Anthropic.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Again, we're not financial advisors.
Not financial advice, no.
For entertainment purposes only. But I did want to let Tony know that I didn't text you about it.
I've thought about it. Like, if it hit under 100, I was thinking maybe I'll buy a couple of shares.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift into, since we're talking about AI, our AI musings.
Yeah.
I can start since you started last week around what I've been doing. OpenClaw, still not getting very much usage other than a few trivial assistant tasks that I have it do for me.
Yeah.
However, I'm planning to get a Mac Mini myself soon, now that I'm I'm getting paychecks. But I'm gonna wait for the M5 Mac Mini to come out, which should be, they're speculating, which should be around DC.
That's coming in a month or two.
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
Yeah, so I just gotta wait for that.
Okay.
So I'll plan to do that and then set up, have a fresh OpenClaw agent housed in the Mac Mini.
Yeah.
But I do want to do more with it. It's just I'm limited because of, just the rate limits and whatnot and all that. I think having a Mac Mini where I can set up a good system will allow me to do more and have it just continue going. So OpenClaw has been loose, but I will say that now that I'm in the enterprise world again, Claude Code has been phenomenal in we were talking about earlier. It's like expectations of performing quickly, right? Because of my level.
Yeah.
Claude Code has helped me perform quickly and jump right into just understanding data, writing PRDs, doing analysis, creating dashboards in Databricks and Mixpanel. And I think the aha moment I had over the weekend was we're doing OKRs. So this is the company's first time doing OKRs. So I've got like experience there already. But
love OKRs.
One of the most challenging things with OKRs is projecting the impact, right? Like you have a metric you want to move.
Yeah.
What do you think you can move it by in the next 3 months, for example? And I use Cloud Code to do a lot of this analysis for me and calculate based on historic data. And it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like I basically like that would have took, that took us weeks probably sometimes.
Yeah, I know, right? Because somebody had to dig into the data and come back, and it's like, is that right? How's
It's
that
like, are
compare
their
to somebody
assumptions right?
else?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But Cloud Code did it for me in like less than half an
Yeah.
hour in terms of like straw man metrics. And now
Yeah.
it's like going back and forth. But I think pretty confident what it said and found. I think I can get this done in less than a few hours. And I'll probably be the first one. So it'll make me look good in terms of my
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's the speed, right? The speed allows you to iterate a lot more and get signal faster. And I think that's probably the biggest benefit, at least from my experience so far, is that you just don't have to wait for a couple of days for the analyst to come back, right? You can get a like gut check and like, okay, this looks good. Let's pursue it. Let's go with it. And then you can just come to a final number sooner. Yeah. I agree with that.
And then the second use case is our designers are stretched thin because we're looking for more designers, but the talks about like vibe coding design prototypes as a product manager, so we don't have to wait, or we can alleviate some of that burden from design is a real thing. And so seeing AI now applied in this like corporate world has been pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I'm still finding it challenging to go from like a design to implementation, or a design to from like just rough mocks to an actual prototype. I'm finding that the biggest challenge at the moment. Meaning, right, you don't have that when you have actual designers in a company, but like if you were like a solo vibe coder or whatever, I find that that gap hasn't been filled yet. So, right, you can work with Claude Codex to come up with like a rough mock, but once you get to actual trying to build it, that's where I find I'm having the biggest issues. Is like, one is you can't do it one for one. Two, it's like the machine doesn't really visually interpret what you see, and so that's kind of like the biggest drawback.
Have you tried using a different tool to create those visuals and then sending those visuals to?
See, that's the thing. That was that. Then I need to have the expertise to use those tools. Like if I were to use Figma, like I have no idea how to use Figma to like build out like what it should look like. Like trying to get something pixel perfect, I guess is the way to think about it, right? It's like, it's
no. What I mean is like, what about Nano Banana? Have you tried Nano Banana?
Then that's just AI generated.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe I just don't understand it fully. If I was in your seat, this is what I'd probably do. Not knowing much is like, would identify this issue that Cloud Code is having, and I would say we're not aligned here. Can you like give me a prompt to tell Nano Banana kind of what to mock up or create visually, so I can give that screenshot to you and you can build it.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Nano Banana, do it, and then post a screenshot in Claude and go from there. I don't know. That's just a thought.
Yeah.
Have you tried that?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. I don't use Google at all or any of their AI tools, because I've tried Nano Banana. I'm able to generate one thing before I have to pay for it. I don't feel like paying for like a third service at this point. But I think I might have to try it eventually, but not so what you're saying, not quite. It's more of not necessarily the prototyping. It's actually turning the prototype into the actual build.
Turning the prototype into an actual
actually building it out. So I'm
the app.
Like the app, yes. Like getting the app to look correct. Right.
Interesting.
And if you think what is it? I guess it's more of like the design system of it, because like if you think about like the way things are placed, kind of like how you think of the nav bar relative to the rest of the UX, like there's certain, right, that's not something it does well. Like I'm like, yeah, move this up 1 pixel, and it'll go back and like move it up 1 pixel, like move that over like 5 pixels. Make sure it's a centered align, right? Because like half the buttons are on one side and like it doesn't look even. That takes a lot of effort.
So like the fit and finish.
The fit and finish, correct. Yeah. Right. So like if you wanted something to go up on stage, let's say Tim Cook to talk about or showcase an app, right? It's like it doesn't have that quality per se.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's the next challenge. Yeah. And then
what about your OpenClaw?
yeah, what was I gonna say about it? I was gonna say I was getting very angry at my OpenClaw because it was just I was trying to pick up work about okay, so if you remember a few weeks back, I was saying I was building some like this orchestration pipelines where I could feed it ideas and it would kind of go through a process of vet the idea, do research, etc., and spit out like a prototype. I was trying to pick that work back up, and it's just like it forgot where we left off, and so I was trying to get it back on track, and I was just like it didn't remember anything, it couldn't find anything in memory, and so I was just like I had to remind it, and I had to mind myself. I had forgotten a lot of where we were. So I had to go back and dig through and try and pick back up where it left off. And I was getting very angry at it. So I'm like, listen, just do it. Like, don't ask me every 5 seconds for should you do it or not. Just do it and come back. So yeah, so that's one. So I was pretty mad at my OpenClaw at the moment. Two, what was it? Google launched their new Gemma 4 model, which is supposedly better. Or, it's better than Quen, all the other free models out there. So I downloaded and tried that because I needed a backup. So if you also remember, the reason why I'm in this situation with my OpenClaw is because I ran out of credits for like a week or like half a week. And so I needed to back up. I used Quen. Quen is terrible. So yeah, so I downloaded Gemma 4. And apparently we did some testing with it. It works. It's just very slow. Yeah. Like saying hello takes 30 seconds for it to come back with a response.
And that's a local model?
Yeah, it's a local model. And so I was like, all right, that's fine, because the responses it gave back actually made sense versus a lot of people talk about Quen, which I found Quen terrible.
Yeah.
Like it was just unusable responses, even though it was faster. So yeah, so there's that. So I have a backup model at least in case I go through my codex, which apparently there's also a lot of changes from the Anthropic and OpenAI perspective as far as credits. Anthropic officially said no OpenClaw for the monthly subscription people. Don't do it or your account will officially get banned. So they made that statement that they're officially not supporting OpenClaw, so don't do it.
I heard something different.
No, like this was literally yesterday, one of the lead guys for Anthropic posted on X that we are officially telling you are not supported. And for people who are doing it, you should get an email also from Anthropic that says, don't do it or you will get banned. If you want to, sign up for the API, buy credits. So it's official now. Before there was like this gray area. But yeah, so don't do it.
Well, I thought there was news this last week that you can use it through an API key. Mm-hmm. And basically, and you get like $100 of credit if you use it through an API key.
So you can use it through API because you're paying per usage. It's just that if you're paying like the Max Pros people, you are not allowed to use it with OpenClaw.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're kind of saying the same thing, but not. But I just need to go look up the story more. I just having a conversation last night around it, so I don't have all the clarity, because API like account is a bit different than, I think, maybe not API key on a subscription plan, or maybe it was you can use it. You have $100, like if you pay $100 for the max plan, then you get $100 of API credits per month. I forget. I don't know.
Okay.
Either way, just it's still like Anthropic is still pretty unusable with OpenClaw unless you want to pay. So I still have mine connected to.
It's this guy Boris Cherny, who works at Cloud Code. So he's been posting on X. Yeah, he's like, starting tomorrow, Cloud subscription will no longer cover usage on third-party tools like OpenClaw. You can still use these tools with Claw login via extra usage bundles. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
I think that's what
I'm referring to. Now at a discount, or with a Claude API key. So that's
I think is a second.
So that's the explicit one. So yeah, so this is Boris Cherny. He posts a lot on X, but he works at Anthropic. So.
Yeah, I think he created Cloud Code.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, I use mine through OpenAI and it's been fine. So I'm not doing anything heavy with it. So I do all the heavy coding with Cloud Code.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but I think like as I can personally for myself, as I continue to experience these new use cases and new world of working with an agent next to you, it's pretty wild. It's pretty fascinating. And because like they continue to improve models so fast, like new capabilities are unlocked, right? And it's like surprising delight, like every month when something you can like okay, here's one example. In Claude Code, are you using the CLI? There's this new command that got pushed to me, got highlighted for me last night, and it's called /buddy.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
New. No, I haven't.
Basically, it's this turkey, this little turkey like Clippy that's on my command prompt now, like in my session. Okay. And it's basically like critiquing me on my usage of Claude. And it does it in a humorous way.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's just like, and it's like active. It's like looking around, blinking its eyes. So you just check it out. Really? Like it's /buddy.
Huh? Okay, I'll see if it works.
And I think they just released it because basically Claude like recommended that I do /buddy.
Okay, funny. All right.
It's crazy. I mean, just the culture there must be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap for 102. Good talks. And yeah, spring break here in Bellevue. Spring break probably many other places.
I think spring break was last year in Texas. So
all you college spring breakers, stay safe. All right. We'll talk next week.
See ya.